All right, welcome on board another live event. Hello, my name is Jader, and I am the founder of Black Label Closers, an organization dedicated to help people become exceptional high-ticket salespeople, high-ticket closers. We have a community on school, SKOOL.com, school. If you go there, you can sign up for a free course, become part of the community, ask questions, and get some help. If you want to be a little more aggressive, we have a $97 course value at $1,000, and I want to make sure that you have a comfortable jump start without having to dig too deep into your pocket. So $97 for you guys to start getting your feet wet in this wonderful and beautiful industry called high ticket sales. Also, if you want to be really aggressive and you want to start selling high ticket, I got just the thing. You can become my partner and we can sort it out. If you reach out to me, go ahead, leave me a comment, tell me to contact you, and we'll make concessions to be able to speak to each other. All right, wonderful. All right, great. Today is Thursday, and today is the 28th of the month of August, and it is 7 p.m. Well, it's a little bit before, about 6:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, so every Tuesday and Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be here helping you guys out. I'm going to put another right there. All right, cool. All right, guys, very simple. We're going to talk. I want to keep pounding and focusing on what's important and what. I was talking to a couple of young men today. One of the guys is going to be an attorney, and the other guy is going to be a programmer. It is, I don't know how long it's going to be for attorneys to be replaced by a robot. I don't know if it's going to be, it's going to be AI. And it is interesting how people keep rejecting the idea that everybody else is going to lose their job but them, right? My job is, or the career I'm going to choose to go to school for, it's just going to be there. It's not going to, kids, stop dreaming, all right? Stop dreaming. If you, maybe attorneys have a shot because there's a lot of human interaction there. So I don't think that AI or somebody who is on death row would like to have their possibility at avoiding death to some artificial intelligence individual. So I don't know, that could be one of those. Programmers, it's already happening. It's already there. It's just, let's not kid ourselves. All right. Anything that has to, computers, code, writing code, gone. Editing, gone. Graphic designing, gone. All right. It's not fear. This is not to make you afraid. Please. That's not the intention of what I'm talking about here, guys. That's not the intention. I don't want you to be afraid. The last thing I want you to be is afraid. I want you to be preemptive. I want you to be expeditious. I want you to be proactive. That's it. Why? So, the title for today's event, well, one of the titles, I'm going to start with the the irreplaceable role of salespeople. Not just any sales person. I'm talking about high ticket. Why is it that high ticket people, salespeople, closers will not be replaced? It's very simple, all right? And this is part of the bullets that I have here. Let me just say hi to people that are here right now sharing some time with me. So, Pantera, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate you separating the time to get the information that you need to be able to grow in a different direction. You've made comments about what you do, and your profession is very interesting, and you want to further on your possibilities. You want to grow. So excellent, great deal to have you here, Pantera. Thank you very much. Uh, Mars, uh, I know that you are a very surgical professional in what you do, and I respect you've made a lot of comments throughout the time that you've been coming here, and I really appreciate that you're looking for a way to be able to grow in a different direction. So awesome that I have you here, Yoey. Always here, such a professional, love it. Rose is here as well, so thank you very much for being here, Rose. You're welcome, Mars. You're welcome. And yes, hi, Rose. I really appreciate you coming consistently. I love when people are consistent. It's consistency, man. Not many people are consistent. So thank you and welcome to the tribe. I love the tribe that is constantly here. So good times, awesome guys. All right, so let's go back to this principle here. So why is this? Because I've talked about this, and the reason why AI is not going to be able to replace people in high ticket. Why? Because it's a lot of money to be given to anybody. That's why if it was just to get a sale in the door, well, instead of having closers and having to pay them money on a commission basis, you just have people sign up on a website, but that's not how it works. You need that human connection, all right? Emotion and connection. So what does that mean? Only and not every human can make that connection. So not every human can make that connection. It takes a special individual, and this is the reason why a lot of people think that sales is about pushing products out. A salesperson is, number one, you have to realize that a salesperson is the point of entry of money into an organization. And that organization needs all kinds of levels of people to be working for that organization. So salespeople people are always the front end in the economy. Again, Henry Ford said, nothing happens until somebody sells something. Right? You can have the architects in place, the engineers, the attorneys, the accountants in place, but they're reactionary. They don't go and sell anything. Salespeople do. And so it takes a special individual. That's the reason why, if you want to know who are the people that make the most amount of money on earth, salespeople. And if you think Warren Buffett or Steve Jobs, when he was alive, of course, or any of these guys that are tycoons in the business world, if you think that they are CEOs or they are technology people, trust me, what they are the most is salespeople. How do you convince a bunch of people? I don't know if you guys heard the story of Jeff Bezos when he started Amazon. He went out and he told investors, I mean, imagine how much power in ability to be able to sell a concept. When you tell someone you're not going to make you instead of making money, if you invest with me, instead of making money for 10 years, we're going to lose money. But after we go through that growing pain, you're going to become a billionaire. Imagine the power that guy had to. I mean, when you're talking about, selling high ticket, that guy sold a ginormous ticket, right? And somehow he made sense. They invested in Amazon. Boom. Every single person that invested in that company became a billionaire, right? Needless to say, how much money he has, right? I have other philosophies about the whole thing, but they're not relevant here. So, human connection, human emotion, extremely important. Did you guys understand that? So, if someone doesn't have the ability to connect to other people, if someone doesn't have the ability to be creative when connecting to people, if someone doesn't have the ability to empathize, to be empathetic, to be reciprocal, and know how to reflect that back, you're not going to have that connection, and you're not going to have the emotion, because you need the emotion to come out, right? I don't know how much emotion you can have if you're aware, because this is another concept. And I'm pretty sure the legal system is going to do something about protecting people from talking to AI agents pretending to be human beings. That's probably something that's going to have to be taken into consideration, right? And it's easy to understand, even though a lot of the AI sound frighteningly human. A lot of these, you can almost tell, because there's an energy there to understand that. All right. So I don't know that if I'm conscious about who I'm talking to, and I'm talking to an AI agent, if I'm going to believe when they're trying to make that connection to me. I got to be honest with you. All right. And that's what's going to hold us together as salespeople. But you have to have, and one thing, guys, I'm going to advise you to do this and think about this. If you're going to learn this trade, a lot of people, and I've trained, or at least try to train people who you tell them to do something and they tell you, well, I don't know if I feel comfortable doing this. Especially when you have to push for answers, right? When you have to push them hard, or takeaway. I've explained what a takeaway is, right? Or posture. Earn that respect through being professionally aggressive and letting people know that we're here not to waste time. We're here to get down to the nitty gritty. I don't know if I can do that. Or confronting people. Sometimes, let's not call it confronting. Let's call it challenging. We do a lot of challenging. I'll give you a quick example. There was a setter that came to me with a problem. He had a woman who was going through a hard time because her son passed away. It must have been at the time that he talked to her, she probably lost her son like a year prior. So she was going through a lot of pain. Recent, right? But a year is time enough for someone to start, at least not getting over. I mean, I can understand. I wouldn't be able to understand, but I can appreciate a mother losing a son or a daughter, right? And that was her biggest reason why, because she couldn't fathom occupying her mind somewhere else. And the memory of her son was very strong, right? And one of the things I told the guy is, like, you got to challenge her. You got to tell her, listen, Mary, whatever her name was, you can choose to stay where you are, But I got to be honest with you, and I'm going to be as respectful as possible. This is what I told. This is what I would have said to that woman, and this is what I told this guy to say to her. I'm going to say this. I don't want to be disrespectful or hurtful, but I think the universe wants you to hear this. You can opt to stay where you are um, in your feelings, but if you stay where you are suffering for the death of your son, you're not putting yourself in the shoes of your son. Let's say that is the other way around. Let's say that you're the one who passed away and he's not living because you died. And if you're looking at this from the other side, wouldn't you like to see your son making changes in your name, helping somehow the loss of you, giving him a reason for him to move forward and accomplish great things in your name? And of course, she's going to say yes. This is what I'm telling this guy. And once she agrees to that, then tell her, let's flip the roles. Now, reality is you lost your son. Why don't you, instead of lamenting his death, why don't you celebrate his life and accomplish what you've never been able to accomplish in his name, because he's going to support you and help you? Well, here's the answer to that proposition that I made to him. He said, yeah, but I don't feel like that's very abrasive. How am I going to come to a person and just talk to them like that? And I said, you need to talk to them like that. Anyway, he refused to do it. So I got on the phone and I talked to her and I told her that. And you know what? The response was an incredible. She cried. She couldn't thank me enough for having mentioned and put it together in the way that she was so busy in her mind that she never looked at it that way. This is what you have to create that connection. AI is not going to have it. I don't care. I don't care how smart it is. It's not going to have it. It will not have it. All right. Um, Allow me to. I think I see somebody here. Uh, okay, Patica here. So Patica and Aldemar, thank you for coming. Great to have you guys here. I know you guys sometimes miss the live training, but you guys typically are here, and I really appreciate it because I know that you guys are probably working, doing things. You're busy. Awesome. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Um, yes. All right. Cool. Awesome. Wonderful. So that human connection, guys, is it's important to understand that human connection AI is not going to have. The next one is decision making. It is so important to realize that in the process that we're doing this, that we're taking people through that psychological process. Think of Tony Robbins, right? This is why it's so important to do consulting. Now, how can I consult? Oh, okay. Okay, so how long, guys? Tell me for how long was I without? I think I hit it right here, and the mute button is really easy to hit, and I just hit it. Tell me for how long. What was the last thing you guys heard me say? The last thing you guys heard me say, so I can recap. Sorry, that's what happens when you're live. All right. All right, guys. It went mute. Yeah. When? What was the last thing I said, Yoey? So I can recap. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, it went mute. It's okay. I understand. All right. So nobody remembered what I said last. The last thing you guys heard before I went mute. What was the last thing I said before I went mute, guys? It's almost time to go. So my apologies. Was it 10 minutes that I was talking to myself? What was it? All right. So I'm just gonna continue. So I was just recap and kind of so it is important that you guys fast track your growth as far as if you have to grow up in age and become mature to understand older people, right? Now you can use your age if you're younger or if you're older, you can use your age as an advantage. I want you to be creative. And we're gonna have a training about that. So I can give you guys, I'm not gonna have enough time today, but I want to make sure that we have that I can give you some tips on how to be a 50-year-old and take advantage of that age, or a 20-year-old or a 30 or 40-year-old and take advantage of your age if somebody were to confront you. I'm going to give you a quick tip, and this is a very strong tip. Okay, very strong tip when you're selling high ticket to investors, potential investors. When someone asks you, all right, you're on the phone with someone and they say, let's say that you're selling a stock market coaching program, right? And you have an expert who's a guru in the stock market, and he's selling a program for $15,000. So you know $15,000 is going to be the closing price. So they're going to rebuttal. One of the things that a lot of people love to do is confront you and make you feel embarrassed as far as your knowledge and your expertise in the field. Hey, Marco's here? Where's Marco? Well, Marco, welcome. All right, Marco, thank you very much for coming. Another consistent guy. He's typically here. Thank you, Marco, for coming. He's typically here. Marco is a sales person. He's already in the field of sales, and from what I gather, he's doing pretty well. And he loves to come here because he gets tips here and there. So, Marco, here comes a tip for you and everybody else. Listen, if somebody says to you, you're selling high ticket in stock market and you're selling someone who's really big in the game, and like I said before, people love to confront you and ask you, so are you an expert? Are you successful? Boom. This is gonna freeze a lot of people because even people with some experience in sales, they don't know how to answer this, and they get tangled up and tongue twisted, and all that stuff. So let's fix that problem. First of all, remember that you have to always keep the control of that conversation. So you're not going to get the control by going into your mind and looking for the right. Wait, what was the rebuttal? Or how can I rebuttal all the other rebuttals that I have right now? Which one would apply the best here? How can I get out of this one? Easy. Look, this is how you do it. So why are you asking me this question? Why are you asking me if I'm an expert? Well, it's a simple question. Are you an expert or not? All right, I'm gonna answer the question, but let me first ask you this question. When you purchase an airplane ticket and you go to the traveling agency, does the person selling you the ticket necessarily have to be a pilot? No. Well, you don't. The person selling you the ticket is the person at the counter. That's her responsibility. She has nothing to do with flying the plane. I have nothing to do with flying the plane. And by the way, never base your success based on somebody else's success, because you might never be as successful as I am, or I might never be as successful as you are, or could potentially be, right? But asking me if I serve a purpose here, I'm not going to be your instructor. I'm not going to be your coach. That's the job for somebody else. I'm tailored here to do one thing, and it's to separate the serious from the curious. All right? So basically, I'm the traveling agency. I'm not the pilot. Boom, that's it. That's all you got to say. People, you got to put people in their place with logic. That's logical. Why am I expecting that everybody in a company that deals with coaching and educating people on how to invest in the stock market, why do I have to expect that the doorman is an expert and a millionaire? It's ridiculous. You got to make him feel that way. All right, so that's a good tip for a rebuttal. Okay, I'm gonna do the best I can to give you guys facts. I'm here. I do facts. What does that mean? Serious from the curious. Right. I'm here to separate the serious from the curious. That's my job. My job is not to help you become an expert in the stock market. My job is to help you get in the door if you're the right person for this. All right. Let's be logical about this. All right. Our doorman, the person downstairs, the receptionist, they don't know anything about investing. They're trying to do their best. There are a lot of things that I don't learn that I don't know that I'm learning. But let's focus and refocus them, redirect the person. All right. I'm little running out of time, but since nobody's charging me for this, right? And I'm not charging you, we can spend a little more time together. Okay. Real world examples. I think I have the best. The most recent one is the one that I've mentioned before a couple of times. A company not making money. I came in and we hired not even closers, just hired guys. I trained them. Boom, from $4,000 a pop every week. They started making. I got them to start making. It took us 3 months to start making $100,000. In 6 months to start making. No, I'm sorry, 3 months to 100. In 4 months to $100,000. Consistently $200,000 in higher 6 months. And they're flying right now. It's been 8 months since I left the company. All right. So it's been recent. All right. Since I left the company because I was training their team. I wasn't working really for them. Awesome. All right. What is the next? Why demand is exploding? The coaching, consulting, and online education industry is booming. That's true, guys. I don't know that it's booming now. I think it's been booming for the past 30 years. It's just picking up exponentially. It's just because people become experts. Now, you got to be careful. Guys, be careful who you work for. A lot of scammers out there. There are people that are experts at what they do, and there are people that are professionals at selling information. If the company is collecting 90% or even 100% of the revenue, not the company, but the somehow the principal of the company only makes money off selling education, he's not an expert. How is it that I'm going to tell you I'm an expert in real estate and I can help him become wealthy, but I'm not doing it? It doesn't make sense. All right. So you got to be careful with that. All right. Very important that you guys understand that. Every single program, and let's talk about real high ticket. To me, $5,000 is borderline, but yeah, it's high ticket. Not $1,000, not $500 for sure. Anything beyond $5,000 to $100,000 and higher needs a closer. Again, real human, right? Needs a closer. You can't do this online. Have people, place their purchase or their item in the cart, in the shopping cart. Doesn't happen that way. Nobody's gonna, cart shop a $30,000 program. It's just not gonna happen. All right. It's just not gonna happen. Okay. Remote work has opened tremendous global opportunities for everybody. A company doesn't have to pay for an office, doesn't have to pay for furniture, doesn't have to pay for receptionists, typically, right? Well, maybe not, right? Doesn't have to pay for internet, certainly not for power. So how much money are they saving there, right? And employees, salespeople, can work as many hours as they want to. They don't have to travel. They don't have to be away from the family. I mean, I hope you're not hanging out with your family more than you're working, but you don't have to get out of the house. I mean, there's so many perks that just arrived with high ticket sales in remote work. You can travel. You can go anywhere in the world, and you can work from anywhere. It used to be back in the day. I remember the first guy I knew that worked from home. We're talking about like 2001. And I was like, one of the guys was best friends with the owner of a particular company, and the guy, just because he was a friend of the guys, he went back to New York. This is in Utah. He went back to New York. He was from New York, and was pitching from his house. I mean, if people would have known, the prospects would have known that he was pitching from a home, they would never have had accepted that. Nowadays, everybody knows you're at home. Every single person knows that most likely you're going to be at home in your home office. That's why you have to have a very decent and professional place to be able to work. Okay? Companies do not want ads. They want revenue. Salespeople equals revenue. As simple as that. I don't have to explain that. That's simple, right? It's a great thing. It's a great thing. Yeah, high ticket sales, guys, is where it's at. I am sorry for muting the button. I'll be more careful next time. Guys, thank you for letting me know. All right. So I'm just going to reintroduce myself. My name is Jader. I am Jader Salazar. I am the founder of Black Label Closers, an organization dedicated to help people become excellent, exceptional, high-ticket closers. We have a community on School, SKOOL.com. You can come, join. You can get our free course. You can ask questions, be helped, start the conversation. You want to be aggressive. There's a $97 program valued at $1,000, but for you, $97. And if you want to become really put your mouth with your money where your mouth is, come be my partner. Let's make 50% of the profit together. We can do that, and you can start selling high ticket and start making some money. All right. Every Tuesday and Thursday, you can come to our live event at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and you can go to blacklabel-closers.com and go see the testimonials and sign up for the $97 program. All right. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. I'm just gonna say bye to everyone. Don't hang up yet. Let me just say hi, bye to you. Patricia, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being here. Mars, thank you for being here. Rose, thank you so much for being here. Aldemar, thank you, man, for participating. Patica, thank you so much again. Rose, Marco, this is your home. This is your house, man. We're your family. This is your family here. Okay. Sirius from the Curious. Great. Okay, I read that before. And I'll see you guys next Tuesday. Let's hang out together. Thank you for coming. Take care.